Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our nightly narrations. Getting into the next chapter of The Richest Man in Babylon. This time it is about the gold lender of Babylon. We finished the 5 laws of gold last, so if you missed those, please check them out to learn the 5 laws that gold goes by in order to accumulate itself and attract it. You're able to attract it to yourself in great ways. Now, let's hear our next story about the gold lender of Babylon. 50 pieces of gold. Never before had Rodan, the spear maker of old Babylon, carried so much gold in his leather wallet. Happily down the king's highway from the palace of his most liberal majesty he stood. Carefully the gold clinked as the wallet at his belt swayed with each step, the sweetest music he had ever heard. 50 pieces of gold, all his. He could hardly realize his good fortune. What power in those clinking discs! They could purchase anything he wanted: a grand house, land, cattle, camels, horses, chariots, whatever he might desire. What use should he make of it? This evening, as he turned into a side street towards the home of his sister, he could think of nothing he would rather possess than those same glittering, heavy pieces of gold, his to keep. It was upon an evening some days later that a perplexed Rodan entered the shop of Mothan, the lender of gold and dealer in jewels and rare fabrics. Glancing neither to the right nor the left at the colorful articles artfully displayed, he passed through to the living quarters at the rear. Here he found the genteel Mathon lounging upon a rug, partaking of a meal served by a black slave. I would counsel with thee, for I know not what to do. Rodan stood stolidly, feet apart, hairy breast exposed by the gaping front of his leather jacket. Malthon's narrow, sallow face smiled a friendly greeting. What indistinctions hast thou done that thou shouldst seek the lender of gold? Has been unlucky at the hast been unlucky at the gambling table? Or has some plump dame entangled thee? For many years have I known thee, yet never before hast thou sought me to aid thee in thy troubles. No, no, not such as that. I seek no gold. Instead, I crave thy wise advice. Hear, hear, what this man doth say. No one comes to the lender of gold for advice. My ears must play me false. They listen true. Can this be so? Rodan, the spear maker, doth display more cunning than all the rest, for he comes to Mathon not for gold, but for advice. Many men come to me for gold to pay for their follies, and as for advice, they want it not. Yet who is more able to advise than the lender of gold, to whom any man come in trouble? Thou shalt eat with me, Rodan, he continued. Thou shalt be my guest for the evening. Ando, he commanded of the black slave, draw up a rug for my friend Rodan, the spear maker, who comes for advice. He shall be mine honored guest. Bring to him much food and get for him my largest cup. Choose well of the best wine, that he may have satisfaction in the drink. Now, tell me, what troubles thee? It's the king's gift. The king's gift? The king did make thee a gift, and it gives thee trouble? What manner of gift? Because he was such pleased with the design I did submit to him for a new point of the spears of the royal guard, he did present me with 50 pieces of gold, and now I am much perplexed. I am beseeched each hour the sun doth travel across the sky by those who would share it with me. That is natural. More men want gold than have it, and would wish one who comes by it easily to divide. But can you not say no? Is thy will not as strong as thy fist? To many I can say no, yet sometimes it would be easier to say yes. Can one refuse to share with one's only sister to whom he is deeply devoted? Surely thy own sister would not wish to deprive thee of enjoying thy reward, but it is for the sake of Araman, her husband, whom she wishes to see a rich merchant. She does feel that has never had a chance, and she beseeches me to loan to him his this gold that he may become a prosperous merchant and repay me with his profits. My friend, resumed Mathon, 'tis a worthy subject thou bringest to discuss. Gold bringeth unto its possessor responsibility and a changed position with his fellow men. It bringeth fear lest he lose it, or it be tricked away from him. It bringeth a fear of power and ability to do good. Likewise, it bringeth opportunities whereby his very good intentions may bring him into difficulties. And that's where we're going to stop. It's a much longer chapter than the previous, so I want to break it up. But we're going to see what the moneylender of Babylon's advice is going to be to our young spear maker, and who just came into a pretty good amount of money. 50 gold pieces was pretty significant. They actually go a little bit into how much that was, and we'll find that out in our next reading. So until tomorrow, I wish you a good night